Welcome to the Big Fella and Little Fella Cricket Show for this week. Big show this week. We're going to talk all things, Test news. The New Zealanders have arrived. We're about to start playing. We've got a special guest in Jarrod Freeman. We're also going to do the blowtorch as usual. It's going to come from the Little Fella. Welcome, mate. How are you this week?
Good, mate. How are you?
I am very well. Back from Perth. How'd you find the national champs, mate?
Warm. Very warm.
Yes.
Hot weather. Got a bit of sunburn, but that's okay. Bit of a tan.
Bit of a tan?
That was good. Good carnival. Interesting. There's probably not as many guys getting away to a good start and going through like we've seen in the past. So it's given the middle order bats a really good opportunity over there. So it's been really good, and a few young guns coming through. That's for sure.
We're going to talk all things Big Bash. Season 9 is just around the corner, and really exciting stuff. There's some fantastic franchise players in. It's going to be exciting. But mate, let's talk news. The second test, sorry, let me rephrase that. The third test of the summer is about to start. Second team of the summer, third test. New Zealand are here, mate.
Yeah.
They're over in Perth. It's damn hot again. 4 days above 40. What's your take on it?
Yeah, well, it's been interesting. I mean, it's good to see a probably really strong side here. Kane Williamson, Trent Bolt, BJ Watling, Tim Southey, the list goes on, Ross Taylor. They've actually got a really good core group now, and the guys that are coming into this New Zealand side or have come into this side, they've been really impressive. It hasn't been the old New Zealand of they've got their core five and then the next they're just rotating through.
What I want to know, mate, is we had a couple of wins to start the summer, but are they going to compete?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a really good series.
It's getting a bit boring otherwise.
Yeah. I think this is one of the first times in a long time where we're going to be up for a big challenge from the Kiwis, and I can't wait. Boxing Day should be certainly pretty good, I reckon.
Well, on that note, Boxing Day will be good. What is it going to be played?
Yeah, well, after that effort at the GGs.
What were they trying to do? Mate, you profess to have a cricketing background. What were they trying to do by watering the pitch that much?
I can't tell you. Like, some things I don't understand in cricket. Not many, but some things I don't, and this is certainly one of them. Like, what? It just
What's happened is they overwatered it, and divots were being forced in the pitch because it was so soft, and then they were drying, and then the ball were hitting these divots and spraying all over the place. That's in a nutshell.
It's crazy. I remember a player once telling me, he said he was going down to training and had been running that day, and he said he got there early, and the curator was watering the turf nets, and he said, "What are you doing, mate? Like, how are you training?" He goes, "Oh, it needs a bit more water." And he's like, "Mate, it's rained all day." Just some people, I don't understand what goes on.
So MCG curators, do not take away the boxing desk from us. That is a Melbourne tradition. What else, mate? What else happened this week?
Yeah, obviously George Bailey's finished up now officially from the Shield Arena. Got to go out similar to the Don, just getting clean bowled after letting one off Wes Agar. Wasn't the best shot I think George has ever played, but.
Hey, look, he's been in some pretty horrible form, but look, at the end of the day, fantastic career. He's a Tasmanian icon. The national players can't take too much because he's moved up and he's now a selector, which I think is a fantastic idea. Having a local player or having a recently retired player, somebody really in touch with the game as a selector, I think that's a fantastic initiative. From a Tassie point of view, you couldn't have had a better career, really, could you?
Yeah, third top run scorer, I think, behind Jamie Cox and Michael Devenuto. So, absolute legend of the game. And it's pretty good to see him go out in that last over wearing his cap.
Tossing a couple of pies down. Yeah.
That's good to see.
Also, being a redhead, I've got some fantastic redhead news. Our boy Liam Hatcher, New South Wales, finally said, "Hatch, you're up, mate." Shield debut. The unfortunate thing was, Hatch took FIFA, but nobody saw anything because the amount of smog and bushfire smoke that was floating through the MCG. So we hear Hatch took 5. We hear it was a good game, but nobody saw a damn thing. No footage. So well done, Hatch, mate. More than deserved. Well, let's get stuck straight into our Big Bash preview, mate. Look, this year I'm not overly sold on the import players. Okay, there's a couple of big name imports which I am excited to see, but. What we'll do is we'll start with the local players first, mate. Who excites you from a local player perspective?
Yeah, I think the first two are pretty obvious. In Mackenzie Harvey, who had a really good carnival last year. I don't know how much he'll be here this year due to the Under-19 World Cup that's coming up, but he's obviously one. We haven't seen a lot of him this year because he's been injured. So I think finally getting back out, that'd be really good to see. Josh Philippi, obviously from the City Sixers, had a breakout tournament last year. Again, he's one who's really struggled to perform in these early months, so hopefully he goes back and gets back to his best. From the strikers, Wes Agar, he's going back and forth between Saka and the Vicks. he's played games here and there. Hasn't really done a lot until this year, where he's been fantastic at Shield level and at Marsh Cup level. So he's absolutely firing at the moment.
He's embracing the thug life.
Yeah, a little bit. Him and his brother, as always. But yeah, he's going to be a good one. Nath Ellis, obviously from the Hurricanes.
Obviously one of our favourites. It's going to be exciting to see what he does. I think he's going to get a real opportunity at the Hurricanes. They're not just bringing him in as that last contracted player. I think he's going to play. He's going to play a pretty meaningful part. He's got some fantastic change up on his deliveries.
Yeah, and no one's seen them, which is really good. His story really reminds me of AJ Ty, obviously coming in as that mature age. These slow balls are going to be quite effective. No one's really seen a lot of him.
No one's picked him. No one's picked him yet, really.
No, and he didn't overbowl him in the Marsh Cup, which was good. Look, obviously Jake Fraser McGurk often making his debut with the Marsh Cup and Shield Cricket. You're going to expect to see him in the Renegades colours.
Little bits and pieces. He'll be at the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
John O'Merlo had one. We had him on the show earlier this year. Look, it's breakout season for Jono, we feel. Lance Morris as well, young WA quick.
Yeah, he's express pace, isn't he? And he's
known
fit,
as the
he's
firing.
firing.
Known as the wild thing, which he doesn't like.
No, he's not a big fan of that, is he? But he's a really good person too. He's a really good fella. I actually had a few beers with him recently, and he just said, I can't wait to get to Melbourne and let him rip. So really excited to see him.
Some import players. As I said, I'm not overly excited by what the teams have brought in. Obviously, it's heavily jeopardised by what the Indians aren't allowed to come and play here. It's heavily jeopardised as to where national programs are around the world. But the one that does really interest me to watch, and the one that I think we're talking about off camera, really put bums on seats is AB de Villiers.
Yeah, absolute freak, isn't he? He's literally one of the greatest players of all time, and talent-wise, he's amazing. Obviously, was a superstar rugby player, was extremely good at hockey, and now we get to see him in Australia finally. He's one of my favourite players of all time. And
it was a tussle won by the Brisbane Heat. A bit of inside knowledge that the Scorchers, both Sydney teams, were really having a crack at trying to get him. I believe Hobart threw their hat in the mix as well. Everyone was trying to get this guy, and I think it might have been his relationship with Chris Lynn that got it over the line with the Brisbane Heat. So good to see there. Melbourne have gone with Dale Steyn. I mean, geez, he's an iconic player. Is he past his best?
Oh, you'd have to say he probably is. He probably is definitely past his best because he's a bit older now, but he's still going to be very good.
Yep.
He's, again, a household name. These are the kind of names that you want to see in the tournament, I think. Steyn and de Villiers. I mean, yeah, compared to some of these other guys, they are great players, don't get me wrong, but they're not those big names. We've got two genuine superstars of the game coming out here. And I can't wait to see. I mean, Dale Steyn, who can still let him go, and if we get Lance Morris up there with him and Nathan Coulter-Nile, that could be a scary attack for the Stars.
Yeah, agreed. Look, the other one that really excites me is Tom Curran. He's a star on the rise. The kid could be anything. Did really well in the IPL. He's done well in the English bits and pieces we've seen him play.
Yeah, he definitely goes well, and he can also bat.
He can
really,
work it,
and a really underrated part of his game is his batting. He's quite good. But yeah, he's definitely, as you say, he's a young gun on the rise, and I think we could see some absolute dominant performances from Tommy Curran.
Couple of players as well. A couple of the your more Afghani style, slow the game down. We don't know if they're 27 or 17, but Rashid Khan and Kees Ahmed, both showed us they have it. I mean, they were brilliant last year, as I said. Question mark over age, but who cares? They're bringing some great things to the game, and they're showing something we don't really see in the Australian from the Australian spinners.
Yeah, look, that's a clear problem, I think, with Australian cricket at the moment.
Thought you meant their birth certificates for going.
No, well, I definitely think that. But you know, these guys, like, where are our spinners? Where are the Australian spinners? Why aren't the Australian spinners playing? And why are we going overseas to these countries who aren't that established in cricket, and why they're spinning so much better than ours? That's what I want to know.
Yep.
But I mean, it'll be good to see. I mean, they're all considered mystery spinners to an aspect, not just in age, but also in what comes out of their hand. So yeah, that'll be a good little tournament. Mujeeba Rahman as well up at Brisbane Heat is another one. So there's a few good little spinners floating around. I've also heard Rashid Khan's will be playing in the over 45s on Sundays.
He's also playing in the World Cup, in the Under-19 World Cup, so go figure. Mate, who's the team to beat for you? Who's going to win the damn thing?
Oh, I think you can't go past the Brisbane Heat. It's an amazing list they've put together. Extremely strong side. Chris Lynn there and AB de Villiers as well. Maxi Bryant's obviously going to be a superstar. geez, there's a lot of firepower in that lineup.
Yeah, heat for me as well. I think the combination of Lynn and De Villiers, I think it's going to be a winning. I won't say partnership, but definitely a winning start from the batting perspective. And as you said, the bowlers they've got are also pretty classy. So for me, too much firepower with a bat in hand. Although Chris Lynn, I mean, if it was in UAE, he set records over there. But he was pretty hit and miss last season here, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did in the best tournament. I mean, it was interesting last year. He was obviously finally heavily criticised for the fact he can't throw. Mm-hmm. So interesting to see where he fields.
Here's the thing. He can't throw. Ashton Turner can't throw. Steve Smith can't throw. There's a lot of boys around there with injured arms that can't throw, but they're still being picked. There's still weapons with the bat.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Andrew Tye will come back hopefully towards the end of the Big Bash. He'll be able to bowl, but he won't be able to throw. I mean, how many players can you stash away on a team?
Yeah, that's right, they can't throw. Especially the Australian team. Some big names there. They all could be in that Australian contention. 4 blokes in the ring who can't throw. Just block and run, I reckon, boys.
We might be in trouble, but let's see. We're going to move along to the Under-19 World Cup. We were both over in Perth for a week and a bit last week. We managed to catch up with a number of players, watch a lot of great cricket. As a little fella said before, to be honest, there were no true standouts. I mean, years gone past, you've had players that have... you are playing for Australia sooner rather than later. You know, you've had your Mackenzie Harveys,
Will
Pekovskis. You know, you had these guys come through and they really stood out. But in saying that, let's roll through a couple of different categories. We're not being too harsh because there's a couple of players there that you're really going to see in years to come. Mate, what were your top 5 batting performances? Not batsmen overall, but your performances.
Yeah, so Paddy Rowe, he got 100. I think it was 135. I've written 125 there. I'm pretty sure it was 135. But that was a really good knock from the wicketkeeper batsman. I think he might be a smoky to open at the World Cup. Tom Kelly got 125 for South Australia. He's a good middle order bat, quite big and strong, can hit a big ball. Jack Attenborough is a bit smaller, works him around New South Wales Metro, 119 there. Will Fort, also 119, not out for ACT, just batted through an innings and just really got them to a big score and set them up for the semi-final game. And Big Mitchy Owen from Tassie, the clean striker of the ball.
6'4", mountain of a man.
Leading run scorer at the carnival too, 116. He's also got another 100 as well, so he's a serious talent. Yeah.
Look, and as I said, the one thing we went into this thinking the contracted players are going to get runs, but it hasn't actually been the way. You know, Fraser McGurk I don't think he's gone past 50. Jaden Goodwin, a little bit like they've been consistent, but not the heavy runs that we really expected.
Yeah, that's right. Sam Fanning's really struggled.
Yeah.
I guess the bigger names, so to speak, they just haven't stood up, have they?
No, they have been consistent, but not those peak scores. Bowlers, mate. What performances impressed you the most? I mean, one stands out really.
Yeah, I mean Bailey Moon 7 for 22. Against the big country. He's obviously a Victorian boy playing for CA, so that would have made him feel pretty special, I reckon. But that was obviously a good performance with the ball. Josh Barabba, who's a New South Wales Metro kid out from Fairfield, Liverpool, which is Liam Hatcher territory, so I'm sure Hatcher's given him plenty of advice, but 5 for 17, pretty good knock there. Harry Townsend, a left-arm orthodox.
Just a kid, isn't he, this one?
Yeah, only 16, played down to 17, so good time to be a left-arm ortho, I think, with Steve O'Keefe nearly on the way out. 5 for 24, he's taken a lot of wickets, and then a leggy that I know you like, big fella in Will Bowring, 5 for 29 for SA.
Yeah, Glenelg Kick, South Australian, just doing... There's not much coming through in the spin department in South Australia after you've got Zampa there. Where does Zampa go? Does he go up? Does he go out? And then you've got Pope obviously coming through, which they've got big raps on, but you've got to have someone else in that team.
Yeah, that's right. And I think there's definitely question marks on Tom Andrews, so good opportunity for Will Bowring.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he showed enough. Now, top 5 players of the tournament, mate. One stands head and shoulders above the rest, and he is a kid.
Yeah, so Cooper Connolly from WA, 16-year-old, dominated the under-17s, was the player of the tournament there. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be just about there.
And he's that young. He's 7 days off being able to qualify to play at the under-17s again next year. And let's face it, we're probably going to see him at the under-19 World Cup.
Yeah, there's every chance. I mean, he's in the top 3 run scorers. He's taken a lot of wickets. He's a very smart cricketer, especially for his age. He fields well. Good leader. He's captaining the CA side.
Yeah.
Bowls left arm, little
sliders,
darts, I guess.
yeah
They kind of swing in a bit and then straighten up a tiny bit.
Very
effective.
Every now and then. He gets 2 or 3 every. Gets 2 or 3 every game, doesn't he?
And he's also with his batting, he's just able to sum up the situation really well and go, okay, well we might need 200 balls here, but it's okay if I'm 20 or 40 because I'll make that up later. And that's one issue that we see a lot with kids is they're not, I guess, ready to kind of play that role, or they're not ready to milk ones for 20 overs, whereas this kid does it. He's been sensational.
Very smart. Look, the second one, probably a close second. Mitch Owen,
Big Mitch Owen, yeah.
Leading run scorer, can take wickets. He's just a presence on the field. Once again, captain of the Tasmanian team.
Vice-captain of the
Tasmanian team. Doing it all.
Yeah, he good leader. Again, really good leader as well. Funnily, I know why he said he's a captain. I mean, we got up with a few of the boys last week, and they all said, "Oh yeah, we keep asking Mitch where we should go on the field."
I mean, admittedly, they had their captain missing for a couple of games due to illness, so that was the games I'd actually watched. Who else you got?
Yeah, Will Baring, I think he's been quite good.
Leading wicket taker, is he?
Yeah, he's going really well. He's just taking bags after bags. Creating opportunities, just what you want as a wrist spinner. The next one I've gone for is a bit of a different one. So he's about 10th top run scorer. He's taken about 9 or 10 wickets as well. But he's batted a bit lower. He's batted at 5 and 6. So Josh Hoffman from South Australia as well. I think this carnival, as I said earlier, it can be very 1, 2, 3 dominant in terms of batting. They're the guys that get the runs. And the bowlers generally are the spinners like Hoffy is. But to bat at 5 and 6 and come in and get scores, get your team over the line time and time again, I think his performance has been really, really good. And he's definitely one to watch.
Other one, Lockie Hearn. I mean, he did it last year. He's doing it again this year. There's no questions. He's a class player.
Yeah, very good batter. You'd expect to see him probably as a lock for the number 3 at the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of World Cup, mate, who's in your squad? Who are you picking? You're the selector. You're Graham Manu. You're Ryan Harris. You're Buck Rogers. Who are you picking?
It's going to be a good team. I can tell you that if I'm picking it. Being the guru. The only challenge with this squad, I think, in general, is who opens the batting. I've gone for Pat Rowe to start as a wicketkeeper, along with Jaden Goodwin. I think Gooders will get every opportunity. He's a super talent.
Been in a tough team. WA boys have struggled a little bit this carnival.
Yeah.
I thought they'd actually do pretty well given it, home decks and whatnot, but it hasn't worked out that way. But he's still a class player, as you said.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously,
very, very good player.
Hearn at 3. I think we just spoke about him. Fraser McGurk at 4 for me.
Yep.
He's got the ability to take games away. Harvey 5. We know how good he is. We've seen how in this batting line sensational. The middle order. I mean, Ollie Davies, I've got him at 6. And I think that's really stiff on Ollie because he's a super talent. He's obviously signed a Thunder deal. Coming back from a broken wrist, so probably not the best time for Ollie. Liam Scott, who just made his Shield debut, I've got him at 7 as the all-rounder.
Yep.
Todd Murphy at 8 is another all-rounder. Bowls more of a bowling all-rounder. Scotty's probably more of a batting all-rounder at the moment, especially out of the 2.
Now he probably hasn't had the best carnival by his standards, Todd Murphy. A couple of teams have really taken to him. But why have you got him in potentially over a Bowering?
Yeah, look, I think he offers a bit more with a bat in the field. He's also a good leader. And if you look at his first grade stats, his bowling's been exceptional. So, as much as there is an emphasis on the Under-19 World Championships, I don't think the squad's purely picked from this. I think there's a bit of natural talent and also what they've done throughout the rest of the year. Connor Sully is the quick I've gone for. Express pace, whacks a big ball. He hit 32 off 11 balls the other day, which is amazing. Last year he got a 90 off about 40 balls, so he can certainly. I mean, Nathan Coulter-Nile is the second coming of him, really. Tanvi Sanger, the leggy, we'll say a bit about him. He's a Sydney Thunder player. Got a lot of different variations, bowls quite well. Again, he probably hasn't had the best carnival, but I think he'll be there ahead of Bowering. And the last 2 quicks are in the 11 that I've got are Brad Simpson and Matty Willens. Brad Simpson, genuine athlete, good runner, bowls extremely well, and Matty Willens is bigger than Billy Stanlake and left armour, so you can't leave him out.
He's an impressive athlete, You look at Bill on screen and he's really slim, but we actually caught up with Willow on the side of the oval, and he's actually, there's a bit of thickness to him. He's going to be a big unit when he grows in that body, and he's going to be a scary prospect. Just the angles he gets in on those balls. Not necessarily taking wickets, but nobody's scoring off him. And if they're scoring, they're literally getting an edge and getting lucky when it's running away for 4. It's they just and they kept him wrapped up pretty well. He was only bowling day on day off, I think, at the 19.
And even then, I think the last game there he bowled 4 overs and that was him done. That was all he's allowed to bowl. So I mean, he's one of those kids where you got to be careful because he's so big and obviously probably still growing, to be honest. Which is scary because he's about double my height at the moment. But the guys I've gone for is the backups. Mitch Owen, we've spoken a lot about him. He could very easily open in this team. Ewan Nielsen, who's a CA, playing with the CA, but he's WA boy, bowling quite quick at the moment. I think he might then is that fourth quick. Cooper Connolly, you got to include him in the squad, don't you? He's just he's a sensation.
Without doubt. I'd be pretty disappointed to see him miss the World Cup. Look, does he play in the 11? Well, who knows? But he deserves it. Really does for what he's done this year. And a bit of a different one from for your last spot, mate.
Yeah, Hugo Burden from Queensland. I think him and Max Clayton, another kid from Queensland, are fighting out for that last spot. I went for Burden because he can bowl. Like, he's quite a tall kid too.
He is for someone who bowls league. He's very tall.
Yeah, so he gets a bit of bounce. He's an elite in the field, probably the best fielder in this side by a long, long way. And there's some good fielders in there too. But yeah, he also bats for, makes runs. He's made a few scores at these 19s. He's made runs in first grade cricket. He's a good talent. So for me, he rounds out the squad nicely.
So as the tournament wraps up, they're going to pick a team of the tournament. Look, historically, they picked a team of the tournament, and then they go on, they pick a World Cup squad.
Yeah, it'll be two different teams, obviously.
Be two different teams. There'll be players with definite crossover. But as you said before, mate, the teams are picked not just on performances at the national champs. It's picked over performances over a 12 to 18 month period, which I honestly think is fair, because at the end of the day, we're playing rushed games. We're playing on WA pitches. It's not necessarily going to suit every single player, and it's going to be very different over in South Africa.
Yeah, and it's a very, very stressful environment for the kids, isn't it? You got 8 games, day on, day off, essentially, or 2 days in a row, then day off. It's pretty full on for them. So what we do know is we've got an extremely good side. I think we've got a really good chance at this World Cup. I think our batting is going to be sensational. I think our spinners are exceptional, and hopefully our quicks do the job as well. Hopefully we sort out this opening problem with maybe Mitch Owen going up there and whacking a few around.
Okay. Well, somebody who did play in the previous World Cup is our guest on the show next. He is the enigma. He is the man of the hour. Jarrod Freeman, young spinner / batsman from down at Hobart Hurricanes and Tassie State team. So we're going to be interviewing him next. Okay, we're back here with Hurricanes, Tasmania state player, Jarrod Freeman. Jarrod, welcome to the show, mate.
Thanks for having me, boys.
That's good. Mate, Big Bash around the corner, pretty exciting times. You're just working your way into it slowly?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, I've had a couple of weeks sort of worked the white ball now, so there's been a couple of shield games down in Hobart, which I essentially haven't really been sort of in the mix for. It's probably a bit of a pace bowls pitch, so it's been good to sort of get the white ball back out after a month or so of the red ball, and yeah, back into the Big Bash now. Yeah,
being a spinner down in Tasmania, not too friendly, is it?
No, absolutely. It's a bit of a green top race set up these days, so I'll let the pace bowlers have a go on that.
I'm sure it doesn't help when your head coach, or the former head coach, but the main man down there is a very large, tall, fast bowler, or former fast bowler.
He's a very former fast bowler, so yeah, they sort of get the first preference, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, mate, you're from a small town called Georgetown, up sort of, where would you describe it? North of Launceston, north of Lonnie?
Yeah, it's north of Lonnie.
Yeah. Mate, not to mention, you played at a little club called Melbourne. Who else played there, mate?
It's essentially the home of Ricky Ponting. That's sort of what they're known for.
Big shoes to fill there, mate. What was it like growing up playing there, knowing that Ricky Ponting had come from there?
Yeah, it was good to play there. I was down in Georgetown for a bit, but I made the move when I was about 14 or something, so it was really exciting to play. I had some really good coaches in Roger Brown and Clinton Reid that played there, so I really enjoyed my time there and still get back and play a game when I can.
Does the great man ever get down there, and Ricky?
He's been there a couple of times, but I've been away both times, so I haven't.
Now, mate, we've got to ask you, where'd the nickname Froggy come from?
From my old man. I don't know how it's come to me. Shannon Tubb passed that on, so...
Big Steve.
Yeah. Yep. I think he got that from his pop as well, so...
Now, there's I guess some rumours going around that your little brother's going okay in the cricket pathway.
Yep.
The big fella and I had a look at him a few weeks ago, and they were calling him Froggy as well, which the big fella wasn't too happy about, so he ran with Tadpole.
Yep, he's rolling with Tad, mate, from now on.
Yep, I'm happy with that. So he gets some as well, so...
There you go, Sammy.
Definitely on, you can call him that.
Mate, you're down in Hobart this year, obviously, with the state team and with the Hurricanes, and you've got an adopted club in Lindisfarne down there. We had... Mr. Ninefer and Nathan Ellis on the show a couple of weeks ago. That was exciting, but mate, what was more exciting is a catch you took. Now we're going to play a bit of vision while we talk, and that catch, mate, take us through it.
That was it's pretty exciting. His knife was pretty good, but I reckon the catch was just as, if not. It's pretty exciting. Standing in the slips and bowls quite fast, so got to be on your toes all the time. And yeah, that catch is sort of stuck. I sort of just put the hand there, and it actually bounced out and went back in. So
Jesus,
pretty lucky.
Talking of hands, we're not going to get you to hold your hands up, mate, but this bloke has the biggest set of mitts
genuine mitts
going around. So it's like a baseball glove grabbing at a ball, at a tiny little ball. So, mate, if that hadn't stuck, you're in trouble. Mate, last year you got a taste at Big Bash for Hurricanes as a replacement player. Really late sort of call up, wasn't it? And it was played up north, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, game at Dunstan and game at UTAS. So it was good to get just enough to really go anyway, just get a bit of a taste of it. So it was really good. It was only like 4 games to go, so it was really good, really exciting.
Hometown game as well. That must be pretty good. Had all the family and friends there, I would imagine.
Yeah, all the families from out there, and a lot of my mates come along, so it was really good to get to play in front of them.
So talk me through what was the best moment of that debut, mate?
Just playing in front of the home crowd, and just never really played in front of that many people before, so just the whole atmosphere of it was really exciting for me. It's something I really took in.
Mate, this season, where do you fit in as part of the Hurricanes lineup, do you think?
Essentially, like, I just want to try and push through as many games as a spinner as I can. Like, we've got some really good spinners, so hopefully make my way in there. Hopefully once I get in there, get a consistent game. But I'm only 19, so I'm just going to take most of it in. It's the first full year as a Hurricane, so all of it's going to be really exciting. That's
it. While we're on age, I mean, you were the first player born in the 2000s to play Shield cricket. Debuted at 17 on the SCG. I mean, that would have been a thrill as well, mate.
Yeah, that was really exciting. It's something I'll never forget. Getting my cap from George Bailey, who is finished now, but to get to play with him and other people like Matthew Wade and Jackson Birdpell, that's something I'll never forget.
Now, you've had a bit of a bad run here, haven't you? You got the debut at the SCG, which traditionally spins a fair bit.
Yeah.
From memory, they stitched you up there with a pitch.
Yeah, that was a pretty fat pitch, so that didn't really turn very well. I think Sock was real happy with that.
Who was more upset, mate, you or Sock?
Oh, Sock wasn't very happy, but I wasn't very happy either. So.
I'm sure he voiced his opinion a bit louder than you did, mate.
Mate, a question we ask all the young blokes we have on the show: Who's your breakout player of the year? Who are you going to be keeping your eye on outside of obviously your own performances this year from a Big Bash perspective?
Nathan Ellis has been pretty exciting, I reckon, so far. But yeah, I think Nathan Ellis is the man. If not Mac Wright, if he gets anywhere on any list, he'll go really well. But I think Nathan Ellis is the one to look out for.
Yeah, look, we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he's doesn't stop smiling, that kid, and he is very, very exciting talent. And it's just great to see he finally got the opportunity to break through and take some decent piles. He very talked about at the moment.
Yeah, Frog, you obviously see him a lot at club level. What does he do? Like, what does he do that's different? I mean, obviously everyone's struggling to pick him. His change-ups looks quite good. He's got good pace. Yeah. It's obviously a bit shorter, but what is it for you? Like, what makes him what he is?
I think his work ethic on and off the field is what makes him the best player, or the player he is. He bowls probably more balls than anyone. He's in the gym for longer than anyone. I think that all just pays off when he gets on the field.
Yeah, he must be sitting on some smiling weights. I reckon that smile, it beams, doesn't it? Oh, jeez, the big pearly whites.
Mate, you touched on George before. You would have been down at Bellerive the other day for the farewell over. Was he chucking pies, or were they any good that are coming out of his hand that last over?
Well, they were okay. They weren't the worst over, I reckon. They weren't too bad. It was good to see him get a bowl in before he finished up.
Well, I mean, look, couldn't have topped the duck he made in his last innings. So.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, but...
No, well, mate, look, it's really exciting to see you a fully contracted part of the Big Bash this year, mate. We really do think you're going to go on and be a great player in the future, that's for sure. But, mate, we really appreciate you coming on the show today, and wish you the best of luck coming into the season in a couple of weeks.
No worries. Thanks for having me, boys.
that was really good to hear from Jarrod Freeman. He's a man of few words, but geez, I mean, how good was that catch?
Oh, the frog! What a man! He's going to be a special player for a long time. I can't wait to see him for the rest of the year.
And hopefully the Hurricanes give him a bit of a role this season. I think they will. I think he'll get his chance. Where, I don't know yet, but I hope he gets his chance and become that cult hero that the Tassie people are looking out for. Mate, what are you watching this week?
Big Bash time, mate. It's finally here. I can't wait for it to start. I think it's going to be great. We get to see so many guys we don't really get to see a lot of in the domestic scene. This is their moment in the spotlight. All those bigger names, I guess that we know over the summer. We get to see them now. I can't wait. It's every night. It's sitting down on the couch having a beer and watching the cricket. It's
definitely one to piss the wife and girlfriend off with a shirt like that, though. You're not going to have the wife and girlfriend problem. But cricket on every night, it's fantastic. It's summer in Australia. Mate, more to the point, who are you going to bounce this week? Who's getting the blowtorch?
Right, well, I'm not in a good mood about this one because we've had a sensational debut of an 18-year-old uncontracted full South Australia in Liam Scott. He moved from New South Wales. No family with him, I should say, family in Queensland.
Plenty of family,
just not there with him. So he's taking this massive risk, and he's still the under-19 carnival. Made his Shield debut. There's his first innings. He's having a hit. He's on about 14, looking quite good. There's 3 balls to go on the day. Alex Carey's at the other end. You're thinking, no worries, Kez. You just block these 3 out. We'll go off for the day. We'll have a beer and we'll have a chat about our plan tomorrow. What does Alex Carey do? He drops one straight to the fielder, calls him through, not even in the picture frame. Liam Scott ran out. 3 balls to go during the day. Debut, burnt, barbecued. Alex Carey, what are you doing, mate?
I'm with you this week. Normally you tend to go the low-hanging fruit, but geez, that was a good one.
It wasn't even close. Oh, I tell you what, the only thing that saved Carey a little bit was the fact he went on to make 126. But I tell you what, if you're Liam Scott, you're probably calling in that favour for Alex Carey for a few weeks to come, I reckon.
A bit of a final thought from me. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Kiwis handle the heat, both literally and from the Australians. All right. I want to see Trent Boult play. I want to see Lockie Ferguson given a shot.
Yeah, he bowls rapid, doesn't he?
Does bowl rapid. I think the key to the Kiwis actually doing well is having Trent Boult play. He is head and shoulders above the rest of them. He's their version of Mitch Stark, I guess you'd say. That's what I'm looking forward to this week. Mate, that's it. We're going to take a bit of a break for Christmas. I'm going to rejoin you all early in the new year. We're going to discuss all things Big Bash, all things Test cricket. And we're also going to do a bit of an under-19 World Cup preview, which is going to be exciting because being a pathway show, we do like to focus on the kids coming through. Mate, thanks for joining us this year for the first half of this season.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It has been fun. We hope you've all enjoyed watching. Keep an eye out on our social media. Big Fella, Little Fella Cricket Show, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the works. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next year.